In our Sunrise Smart Start this morning, a giant step closer to closure and justice for the family of Brittany Drexel, the childlike teenager who disappeared on spring break in Myrtle Beach in 2009.
Yesterday, police in South Carolina announced they not only found her killer, but also her remains. Adam Chodak, who was at the news conference, joins us from Myrtle Beach with what we learned.
Good morning to you. We've been saying Brittany Drexel disappeared in Myrtle Beach for 13 years now. If police are right on this one, we'll soon be saying she was kidnapped in Myrtle Beach and later murdered. Of course, a tragedy all the same, but one that Brittany's parents can properly grieve.
To the Drexel family, we mourn with you and pray for you as you cope with the tragedies of 13 years ago. No one deserves to go through this, and our hearts go out to you. Our only hope is that this finding allows your family to grieve properly for Brittany.
The search for Brittany is now a pursuit of Brittany's justice.
And Dawn says they plan to hold a celebration of life for Brittany sometime soon in Rochester. The spot, Charlotte, the same place Dawn sent up that hope that one day she might be able to find her daughter. Reporting from Myrtle Beach, Adam Chodak, News 8.
Adam, thank you. And Moody is being held without bail and is charged with murder, kidnapping, and criminal sexual misconduct. This case is broken down in full on our website, rochesterfirst.com.
Two Florida residents have been arraigned after they were accused of trying to light a child on fire in Tyre, Seneca County, earlier this month. Jamie Avery Jr. and Lisbeth Collada now facing a 7-count indictment. Charges including multiple murder charges, attempted assault, 2 arson charges, and 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. They are in custody and due back in court on July 27th.
Overnight, Rochester police investigating after shots were fired into an occupied house on Fulton Avenue. None of the 4 people inside were hurt. 3 of those people were teens. No one is in custody, and police are asking anyone with information to call 911.
The cause of a house fire on 5th Street in Rochester is under investigation. It broke out around 12:30 this morning. No one was on scene when firefighters arrived. One firefighter was taken to the hospital with 2nd-degree burns to his arms. New this morning, a woman was shot and airlifted to the Erie County Medical Center after a domestic incident in Java, Wyoming County. Authorities say that 29-year-old woman was shot in the abdomen last night. Police say Jared Raisin has been arrested at the scene for the shooting. The condition of that victim is not known this morning.
Well, James, not a bad morning for a little bit of a walk, but you might need a light sweatshirt or jacket on.
I think that's good advice there. Yes, certainly a little bit of a chill compared to the past couple of mornings. Nothing we can't handle. We'll stay in the 50s for most of the day, so nice walk for you. West-northwest wind at 13 miles per hour. That's sustained. Could pick up, I'd say, over the next few hours, so it'll be a little bit of a breezy afternoon for you. Highs right around 60 later today. Then we drop. Cool night overnight. Could see even some 30s on the map. When could we warm up in a big way? I'll have that forecast at the end of the show. Mark, Alley.
All right, James, thank you. Checking the roads again with our sunrise traffic. And still dealing with some slowing on 390 South at this hour. An accident by Brooks Avenue, so take note if you're headed that way. Volume building on 490, but flowing well in both directions in our view from downtown. No accidents to pass along on 590 at this hour. Well, we are going live to Buffalo as President Biden and the First Lady Jill Biden due to visit the city today after a racially motivated mass shooting Saturday left 10 people dead. We are joined by correspondent Jamie DeLine with more on this. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning. President Biden and the First Lady are expected to arrive here in Buffalo shortly before 10 o'clock this morning to grieve with the community here after the mass shooting that took place at the Tops grocery store here in Buffalo.
We must all work together to address the hate that remains a stain on the soul of America.
The president will be greeted by Governor Kathy Hochul, who is expected to unveil new legislation to close loopholes in New York State's gun safety laws.
I seen a guy just shooting outside random in my community. Helpless people that didn't have a gun to shoot back at him.
Around 2:30 in the afternoon on Saturday, 18-year-old Peyton Gendron, according to police, drove several hours across the state and opened fire, first in the parking lot of the grocery store before going inside. Police say a total of 13 people were shot, most of them African American. 10 of them died. Investigators and the city's mayor say the deadly attack was racially motivated.
This racist killer had absolutely zero regard for the sanctity of human life. I seen him just shooting at people. And in my head at that point in time, I'm thinking, okay, they should shoot in a movie here in Buffalo, and they ain't tell me they're shooting here at Tops. Until I seen the police officer run inside, then I seen him go in after him, just shooting. I'm like, oh, this is real.
We are also starting to learn more about the victims. Retired Buffalo police officer Aaron Salter was working security. He shot the gunman, who was wearing heavy tactical gear, but it had no effect.
Retired Officer Salter, working security there, engaged a suspect, fired rounds. We have evidence that he struck him at least one time, and that unfortunately had no effect.
In a Monday afternoon press conference, Buffalo's police commissioner revealed that the accused gunman had scoped out the supermarket weeks ago.
The individual was here a few months ago, back in early March. So as I said, there's a lot of material to go through, so that we have confirmed now that it appears that individual was here back a couple of months ago in early March.
Who died, and also to support their neighbors. I've seen people offering food.
This investigation is ongoing, and the president is expected to deliver remarks at a community center later on this afternoon. Reporting live in Buffalo, I'm Jamie DeLine.
Jamie, thank you. And for more on this shooting and the president's visit today, you can head over to rochesterfirst.com. From around the state now, a new congressional redistricting map was drafted yesterday. This comes weeks after a Steuben County judge ruled that the state's originally submitted maps were unconstitutional. The court-appointed special master Jonathan Serves published a new preliminary drafted map. Stephen Romanlewski, the director of Cooney Mapping Service, says the maps put forth are strikingly different from the originally submitted ones.
The map that is proposed today will include the Tri-County area in its entirety, although it cuts off, I think, Saratoga County. It splits that in half. Also, a number of districts in New York City are very different than the current lines and the lines that were approved by the legislature and the governor.
There is still an opportunity for public comment about these maps until tomorrow, but the maps will be finalized on Friday.
Some national news, the president signing an order to redeploy American troops to Somalia. According to military leaders, hundreds of troops will head there to counter the Islamic extremist rebel group known as Al-Shabaab. Officials say it's an effort that was hampered by President Trump's decision to withdraw forces late in his term. The Pentagon says our troops will not be engaged in any direct contact.
Lawmakers in Washington are working on plans to restock store shelves with baby formula. Congress is preparing to vote this week on a pair of bills to increase supply, including one to allow the U.S. to import formula from abroad. The other would make it easier for low-income families in the WIC program to buy formula.
Over the weekend, one of the things that we worked on continuously was putting forth a set of rules that would enable the use of formula that was intended for other countries. Some of it even manufactured in the U.S. intended for other countries.
CBS News has also learned that the Department of Justice is working with state attorneys general to investigate possible baby formula price fixing.
All right, here's what some folks will be talking about at the water cooler this morning. The Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial resuming yesterday. Heard resuming her testimony after a week-long break. Week 5 of this trial began with a cross-examination. Heard testifying again that Depp had abused her both physically and emotionally. They also brought up their divorce settlement of $7 million and Heard's makeup palette, which she allegedly used to cover up bruising.
Well, James, bus stop forecast. I was like, I don't know how to transition there, but bus stop forecast.
I mean, it's certainly a very popular case that a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, lots watching that.
Yeah, maybe at the bus stop, possibly. It's a little bit chilly, possibly jacket worthy for you. As numbers start off in the 50s, you go partly cloudy skies. There'll be some peaks of sun, though, throughout the day. We don't warm that temperature up much. in the 50s. Got to wait a couple of days. Really, as we get into Thursday and Friday, we'll see that number increase. We get into the low 70s Thursday, and then Friday we cruise past the 70s, well into the 80s. Nice burst of heat to finish off the week, finish off the Lilac Festival. The third weekend is this weekend. We're going to have to be dodging some showers and storms. You really can't get much better than it was last weekend. But I do think there will be some dry time both Saturday and Sunday. And if you're watching us, assuming you're in Rochester, go to the Highland Park. The lilacs are blooming.
They look great. Thank you, James, and thank you so much for watching News 8 at Sunrise.
Our next update coming up in 30 minutes. CBS Mornings is up next. Have a great Tuesday.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.